It's that time again, and it only means one thing, that soccer betting news is back on your screens. I'm Ayanda Vezi, and with me is Desh Parthab. Desh, how are you, bro?
Ayanda, hi, SPN viewers.
Before getting to it, Desh, let's start by saying first to our subscribers, thank you so much for following us. We are on 1,005 subscribers. Please continue supporting our channel and tell your friends to subscribe on our YouTube channel. And also they must tell also their friends that they must come to this channel, because here we are not biased on this channel. We tell the truth as it is. Desh, domestic football is on the break. We are on the international. Some of the nations are playing their last game to qualify for the AFCON that is in Ivory Coast the next year. Bafana Bafana, obviously, as we're wearing yellow, we're supporting our boys. They will be playing their 2 friendly matches as they qualified for the AFCON. What does this mean for the team, for the South Africa as a whole?
Well, look, I think now is the time to, put our feet up and relax. I mean, you look at the hard work is done, and now it's a time to enjoy the football. I think in terms of competition, we've done what we can. Against Morocco, you saw that impressive performance at FNB Stadium. I think it was 2-1 if I'm not mistaken, but also the quality of the performance. I don't think the result was a fair reflection of the match, because Bafana had them against the ropes for many spells of play. Morocco were chasing shadows, and I'm going off that result where you look at La Paz, I think he missed one. Mokoena, he also missed a sitter. The goals could have been flowing, and that would have only meant that the fans would have enjoyed the game all that much more. But it was absolutely palpable. The energy in the stadium was surreal. It was like an out-of-body experience. And against this one, these two countries, Namibia and Congo, I'm expecting a bit more of the same. Maybe a bit more enjoying the game. As some of the players look to impose themselves.
We were speaking about enjoying the game, relaxing. Is this now the chance for the players that were not given minutes to run in the qualifying matches to have a run now, to say Hugo Broos, he must give them a chance to show what they can deliver when they're wearing the national jersey?
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head over there, because with several key first-team players out injured, the likes of Temazwane, Mokoena as well. There's a few first-team regulars that have confirmed that they will be missing from the squad. But there's enough firepower in the team up front at least. But it's time for the other players. You look at Pule Modi earning his Bafana call-up. I think the last time he was called up to the national team, he was wearing a Golden Arrows jersey. And now for a Chiefs player to get the call-up following Hugo Broos's controversial comments around the Glamour Boys, where he said at the time, they had 4 points from 12 and he couldn't select players from Chiefs, even though, maybe he wanted to, maybe he didn't want to, but he said that the results on the pitch weren't good. And he even mentioned that loss to TS Galaxy, where the fans started throwing bottles at the head coach. And he says that in his national press conference, look at what was happening to the club at that time. So I think he backed himself and set the record straight. In terms of the new players added to the team, I wonder if this is enough minutes for them to actually get integrated to that Bafana squad.
Sorry to cut you there. You were speaking about what Hugo Broos said, and then on his latest press conference, he said after the games that they will play, he will go home just to relax, to see his family for 2 weeks, and then when he comes back, he wants to have a meeting with the head coach of Kaizer Chiefs. Do you think maybe there was a tension between him and the Kaizer Chiefs players and the coach? On your point of view, what's your take on that?
I do think that there's something behind the scenes there. Where there's smoke, there's always a fire. So I think that there was some tension, maybe some miscommunication, perhaps even misinterpretation. The current head coach, Molefe Nseki, is former Bafana manager, so he's fully aware of the national setup. He knows who the stakeholders are, the presidents and, the shot callers, and maybe he had a difference of opinion with Hugo Broos, or perhaps vice versa. And I think that he needs to have that chat and, get each other on the same wavelength, because Kaizer Chiefs have had a dramatic turn of form. You look at how they started the season, opening 3 games. I don't think they had a recorded a victory.
Yeah.
And then they go and hit AmaZulu for 3. They won against Stellenbosch.
Drew against Sundowns.
An impressive performance in that. Knockout football, very, very dangerous. Look at Sundowns and what a track record they've got in cup competitions, and to be leading 1-0 on home soil, up until like the 90th minute, the absolute late stages, and they concede. They would feel like it's a defeat because now Sundowns with that away goal, the tie swings in their favour. But a very, very strong performance from Molefe Ntseki's team, and I'm very excited to see what happens to Kaizer Chiefs following this international break.
Okay, now I want us to focus on the game. Bafana, their first game is against Namibia, where we know Peter Shalulile is not on the squad due to injury. Dion Hoto, we know him from Orlando Pirates and Bidvest Feds. So, how do you see Bafana set up in this game? Because we know Namibia, our neighbors. How do you see the starting lineup? Can you please name out the starting lineup for me going into this game?
Well, look, for me, I'm hoping he plays at front 3 of Percy Tau, Lyle Foster, and Zakile Lapasa, because right now there's some goals in them. I think if you look into the midfield, I'm hoping Pure Mori gets a small call-up. Maybe 60 minutes, he comes on, makes a substitute appearance off the bench just to get some minutes under his belt, and then maybe he plays the full game against Congo in the ensuing fixture. But definitely I would like to see him in that midfield getting some time out there. There's also Ronwen Williams, as a captain. I think, again, this is an inexperienced Bafana squad, Maybe not the first team, but definitely the squad. So I think he would be very influential in how he manages that back. You look at Moby on the right-hand side there. And, with his defensive partnership, I'm not too convinced as to which defensive pairing would start this one, because there have been some changes in the squad, and I think Hugo Bruce would want to bring in some fresh faces as he looks to prepare for that all-important AFCON tournament, as well as the FIFA World Cup qualifiers before that. So that's going to be important, but I want to see him try and set up so that Bafana shuts down the game, because I have no doubt they're going to score, maybe even score first, but the Bafana team has had a problem where they can't close off games. They have been in winning positions and sometimes end up with a draw, and maybe sometimes even with a loss. So, I'm hoping that they have some ball-playing midfielders and defenders.
Okay. Now, we're preparing, right, for as you said, for the FIFA World Cup qualifier and for the AFCON. Are these the right games to play building up to the AFCON? Are they picking up the correct teams to prepare for this tournament?
Well, look, the friendlies are against African sides, so it's not like they're playing against a European side. So they will get used to some of the intensity, if I could say that. Look at Congo; they are still in the running for their spot. Obviously, they play, I think it's Sudan, if I'm not mistaken, on Saturday. So that one there as well. You never know which way that tie is going to go. Will Congo maybe come away with a win or a defeat, but they'll be looking to get a result against Bafana, who have already booked their spot in the tournament.
Okay, so give me a prediction on the game against Namibia.
Against Namibia, I'm going with a 3-0 Bafana Victory.
Oh, that's bold, eh?
Yeah, I think, the team has got it. You look at the squad that we do field right now, it's incredible. It's a star-studded 11. You look at Crowd Margaman. I know you asked me about the squad, and I think he's someone that will actually play the full 90. I'll be very interested to see how he performs. You mentioned Dean Hotto in the opposite lineup, and you need someone to be tracking him, because at Orlando Stadium, it's his home ground, so he knows exactly how the pitch plays out, and where to maybe attack. So I think Marjaman will be instructed to stay on Hotto until he gets into that box, and then that's where the defenders take over.
And then against the DR Congo, because I know this is a team that is always likes to give Bafana
a tough time.
So
again, I'm going with a 2-0 victory. I think right now we're in cloud nine. I think that the team is playing with a bit less pressure, and we could see a bit more expansive football. I also think there will be a goalkeeper swap, because Veli Motoa has had a few impressive performances in the AmaZulu jersey. Yeah, I think he started the league with 3 straight clean sheets. So, very impressive form for Veli Motoa, and I do believe that he will get a nod in one of these 2 games. So I think it will be against Congo. we'll see what happens.
Okay, Zakel Paza and Foster, do you see one of them being on the score sheet on the day?
Oh, definitely. Maybe even both. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think Lyle Foster will be used for 180 minutes. I think maybe he'll come on 60, maybe 30. Right now, I think that the Burnley manager has probably had a call with Hugo Bruce and telling him, please bubble wrap this man because he's crucial to Burnley's, but as they they hope to avoid the drop. You know, he scored against Tottenham Hotspur and Aston Villa, very, very strong clubs. You look at their defensive records last season and this season, they've started off relatively well. I think Villa is playing in Europe, so, you know, to score against a European club, very, very dangerous indeed.
Okay, does this mean now, with Thembazwane being injured, does this mean Pule Modi must go there and stamp his authority to make sure that when Thembazwane comes back, Hugo Bruce is having a headache to select which player to go with?
To be honest, I think Thembazwane gets a nod over Pule Modi, but Pule Modi is the name on everybody's lips. You know, you look at the Kaizer Chiefs faithful and how happy they are that one of their own is in at Bafana setup, because it's been a while since some of the Chiefs players have got that nod to represent the national team. So, or even just get to the camp. They can't even get to the camp. So now, I think with Modi there, he could open the door to those Chiefs players. You know, you got the likes of Ashley Dupree's over there. And Yusuf March, you know, two players that come to mind that could go straight into that Bafana lineup if they continue their performances. So I think Pule Modi might not, it might be a bit too late to compete with Zwane for that starting position, but definitely show the coach what he's worth. And I think that's the way he's going to approach this two friendlies.
Well, in that high note, Desh, it's time for us to wrap up. Please don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Also follow us on our social media platform at SBN_ZA on Twitter. On Facebook, we are Soccer Betting News. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I am Ayanda Kazulu. On Facebook, I am Ayanda Zulu Ndabezita. Until next time, say
cheers.
For more soccer betting tips and previews, get the latest copy of Soccer Betting News for only 10 Rand at your nearest Hollywood Bets branch or news agent.